Good morning. Kalimera everyone. Hello. To another market update. Today it's the 23rd. How's everyone doing? Good morning. Kalimera everyone. Wakey. Alright. How's everyone doing? Alright, okay. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're doing fine. I'll give a few seconds for everyone to join us. I always have the lovely Anatolian vibes at the background to kill the silence. Right. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. Here we are. Lots of choppiness yesterday. Look at that. Let me go to 15-minute time frame. So lots of choppiness. Let's give it a bit more room to our chart here so we have larger candles. Right, okay, cool. So we have some choppiness going on. Right, we have a major dump yesterday. Look at that. It went all the way down. Right, and we posed just a little bit up over the G level. And also I said yesterday, if you remember, that we may see a little bit of deviation to the downside and then recover to that G level, okay, because of that huge wick. And you can see first attempt, second attempt, and third attempt, and then you see this nice lovely abundant wick and it's shooting up. Okay, so we were expecting yesterday a little bit, it needs, after that drop, it needs a little bit consolidation to find its balance, to see what is going on. And because of that huge wick, which is imbalance, you can see that the price went all the way down to clear the imbalance. And that was a good sign of a abundant wick, which means, a big pressure to the upside. If I put a line here, you can see here that it cleared that imbalance. Just went a little bit under, and same pressure is pushing up and recover. And the price is above 112.5. Lovely. So if I zoom in, we can see here that once again, Bitcoin is inside our focus area. Okay, and for people that they want to be safe, just to make sure that on Tuesday they don't want to gamble, so this is still the same area of focus point, and you still need the same conditions. Okay, a lot of choppiness, maybe someone will try to catch these or try to catch that. That short will go not that far away. Okay, I mean, if you did take that short, you see that there's no continuation. We spoke about this yesterday, that it's a high possibility that we're going to see some deviation and then recover. Okay, so it wasn't the continuation of short from yesterday's TA. So far we are still on track. Okay, so what I will like to see today as Tuesday is whether we're gonna get a breakout and solid foundation, okay, like a support, and trying to attack all this imbalance and trying to target that liquidity that's sitting here, extra imbalance and extra liquidity above 115.8. So that is like the process of thought that I would like to see breaking out, find support. Okay, and if we find support, that means maybe it's ready to go higher. So the next, let's say, checkpoint or bus stop is going to be that imbalance and that liquidity trying to go up and trying to see what's going to happen here. Okay, so all these are little bus stops that you want to ride on the way up. Okay, if not, let's say the market is not in a good mood, the news are no good, so we'll probably see that we're losing that G level, and therefore I will expect later that it's going to fail to claim this level. Okay, so it means no more bouncing above the G level. So I will expect, if I see something like this, then there's a high possibility that we're going to continue to the downside. So this area for you to be your focus, that is absolutely correct. if you want to, let's say, refine that area, so let's go to 90 minutes, and you can, because yesterday was very fresh, very few data, but now you have more data. So what you can do, you can go to 90 minutes, redefine, refine this on a higher time frame, and then go back to 15, and you have this area of focus, and the 50% of the focus is your G level. So it's a little bit more refined today because you had more data to play with. So you have majority of the tops here, and you have a deviation that give you an engulfing on a higher time frame around this area, okay, which is matching with these two guys here as a low. So you can refine, okay, and today you have a little bit wider focus area, but as we see now, there is a possibility right now that it wants to recover, okay. So here's a refined view and kind of a trigger right now on the 15-minute time frame. We have a trigger that it wants to go higher. Now this is EU pre-market move. It's only half an hour before the market is going to open, so maybe it's going to be a fake move. We don't know. Maybe Asia is trying to grab some liquidity before it's going to continue to the downside. Okay, so let's see what the first 15 minutes is going to do of the opening, and see if we see any momentum. Okay, so mark the 15 minutes. So let's say that London is going to open at 8 o'clock local time, okay, or 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock, whatever that is. It's 8 o'clock, but compared to your timing and time zone. So if I say 8 o'clock, then watch out the first 15 minutes, all right? And see, mark the area of 15-minute candle, break it down to 3 candles of the 5-minute, or you can have 15 candles on a single minute, okay? And mark the top of the 15-minute time frame and the bottom of the 15-minute time frame, okay? So let's say, let me do this an example, okay? Let's go back in yesterday's 8 o'clock. Okay, let's have a look. Let's take yesterday's example. Right, so let's go 10 o'clock my local time, because 10 o'clock local time is the open of the EU. So I'm going down to 15 minutes because I need one single 15-minute candle, which is going to be 10 o'clock. So that is going to be the 15 minutes. So that's the high and that's the low. Let me go down to 5 minutes or 1 minute, and you can see the box that I marked. There it is. Okay, so that's 8 o'clock. Let's go to 15. 15 is somewhere here. So that blue guy here is your 15. Okay, so that is the bottom and that's the highest of that level. Okay, and kind of this is your focus area. You can extend it, that's not a problem, because what you want to see is the breakout. Okay, so if someone wants to find an opportunity, try to mark the first 15 minutes of any session open. Okay, go down to 1 minute, 5 minutes, it doesn't matter. It's not scalping, it's like intraday. But what you want to do is you want to see what happens after the 15 minutes of the session open. And you can see that after the opening of the session, you have a push to the upside. Okay. And you catch a little of momentum over 0.22. It's not a big deal, I know, smaller time frame, but you get the idea that the market was pushing up. It went all the way up, correct itself, and then continue to push to the upside. Okay, now this is really you need an area to break this down completely. Okay, break this down, you need to super tight it, and you can see that it's almost talking about 1.5 or 2 G levels on a micro perspective. Okay, This is something that I'm trying to investigate. I'm trying to make not a new strategy, but let's say if I can catch a momentum after the opening of a session that you expect to have volume. If you mark the 15 minutes and see, what kind of action it's giving you, then there's a higher possibility to tell you that, hey, that pushed up, it's going to do a correction and then it's continue to the upside. Now, how far will it go? Not a big deal. Okay, but in such a small time frame, like 1 minute, 5 minutes, then you can do micro levels, a little bit higher risk of trading, and that means higher leverage, higher risk, but lower duration. Okay, right. As we see, that's the opportunity that we saw, a trigger, but you see that it's coming back again. This is a pre-market move. I'm waiting for the 10 o'clock. So let's say this is the 1 minute. So let me mark the 10 o'clock. That's the 10 o'clock. And I'm waiting to go all the way to 15. That's 10, 13, 14, 15. Oops. I missed that. Give me 1 second. I'll get back with you. There it is. 15. So you have that little gap here that you will need to investigate.
از قاضی نترسد می بیار بلکه از یرقوی دیوان نیز هم محتسب داند که حافظ عاشق است واصف ملک سلیمان نیز هم
All right, okay. Now you haven't lost anything. Nothing's frozen. You're just listening a little bit to the hold music on the call center here. So that little box, so to say, that 15-minute box, what I'm going to do is I'm going to monitor. Let me do this in, I don't know, maybe in different color. So let's make it nice, bright red. That will be my area and make the lovely lines white to stand out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to watch and see in that 15-minute period what the EU is going to give me the highs and the lows. Okay, so I'm going to lock that. Okay, and what I'm going to watch out for later is which way it's going to break. It's the same principle that we do the intraday market updates, that we find the focus boxes, right? But we usually go large boxes, okay? We go with solid impulses, okay, which is good. But also, we can do a little bit, a little bit zoomed in version, like a on steroids, so to say, version, and go zoomed in, and let's focus on the first 15 minutes of the market open. We're gonna do this on the EU, but also the where I want to encourage you is to do on the US. So find where is the US open and mark the 15 minutes. And what we want to do, we would like to see how the rest of the traders after the past 15 minutes, let's say post open 15 minutes, we would like to see what the market makers are pushing the market towards the downside or towards the upside. Now, this is very, very short-term trading, okay? This is kind of anything between scalping and an intraday, okay? You're marking the 15 minutes, you want to catch a momentum, you want to see what the big boys are doing after the 15 minutes, okay? Not exactly on the opening. After the 15 minutes, you just need to mark the top and the bottom as a range, okay? It's like, hey, this is the top of the 15 minute, that's the bottom, this is how far you went. I want to see which way it's going to break, okay? It's exactly the same principle as we do, but on a micro management kind of side, okay? A little bit zoomed in, a little bit more high risk profile, like on steroids, on adrenaline full kind of approach. It's something that it was introduced to me by somebody else, a member from the CIA. He goes to me, hey, pay attention to this, maybe there's something there, maybe not, other people's using it. So far it seems that it's working. So instead of only me doing the investigation, I would like the other agents to do the same thing. So monitor what happens after the 15 minutes. And if you see that the market, the market makers are breaking to the upside, see what happens to the rest of the session towards the closing and see how that day went. Did it go to the same direction as the breakout after the 15 minutes? Obviously, you're going to have some corrections, but it wasn't the general same trend. Okay, and let's investigate and then come back in a couple of days, like next week, so to say, and let's discuss about the findings. Okay, but the principle is the same thing, that we mark a range, okay, and we kind of play the breakout, okay, to find a momentum, a trend, a direction for us to go up there. And then what is going to be the conditions to apply, and what is going to be the TP and the stop loss and stuff like that. We're going to talk about this later, okay? I don't want to go all in straight away with engagement to something very new. First, we need to do investigation, we need to study, we need to collect the data, we need to understand kind of, is that a good solid, so to say, not prediction, but out of 10 times, how many times did he went on the same direction for the rest of the day? Was that accurate? And if so, then maybe we can do these on a micro level. I don't want to scare people on the 1 minute and 5 minute and intraday and scalping procedures, but if you do find a momentum in any direction after the 50 minutes where the majority of the volume is, hey, that is going to be bonus, right? All right, so I don't want to waste any more time. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's go back to 90 minutes. What do we see here? We see that we had a major drop yesterday. The question of the following, hours and days is, are we going to stay above the G level and recover? Okay, or are we going to lose this guy and go even further down to 109? So that's our bigger focus box. So Bitcoin, not big change since yesterday. Ethereum, let me book that here. Ethereum is kind of the same thing. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. Let's go to 15-minute time frame. Have a look on the Ethereum. Exactly the same thing. It falls down, comes down, trying to find support above the 4,200-ish area, 120. And we would like to see what it's going to do with these guys here. Now, the same thing that we did on the Bitcoin on the 90-minute time frame. That's the last impulse engulfing candle, push to the downside. The last engulfing to the downside. So that is a refined range, as exactly we did with Bitcoin, and that is your focus box for Ethereum. Okay, you have some deviations. You tried. Okay, look at that wick. So you went to clear this imbalance. It comes down. There is more unfinished business for Ethereum. Okay, so be careful with that huge wick over here. So far it's holding. Okay, look at that lovely small wicks here. Let's see what's going to happen today after the EU Open. Okay, this is the area. Are we going to go up or are we going to go down? If you see a momentum and trend, catch it. Okay, grab the opportunity for the EU. Otherwise, wait for the US. Okay, VIX. What is going on with VIX? Remember, yesterday we didn't have any data. It was Monday. The US did not open, so we wanted to see today. As let me go down to a smaller time frame, 50-minute time frame, and we have a small gap here because of Friday and Monday. Okay, this is a weekend gap, and you see that, you know, usually these lovely charts, they do fill the gaps. Okay, so you see it went down to 50% of that gap, and let's see what VIX is going to show us. So the Monday, it was a little bit higher from Friday. Okay, so it was a little bit scary news. It's coming down a little bit, but let's see what's going to happen. Okay, so you know the lowest is down here, the highest down here. So see what it's going to do today. Okay, are we going to maintain the same level or are we going to drop? You see, it's kind of increasing a little bit, not dramatically, but it's increasing, moving away from 15. It's already 16 now. So I'm not going to say major alert or alarm or anything like that. You know, we need to be a little bit alert, so to say, when we're going to enter inside the orange area or even in the red. Okay, that's going to be like bad news. Well, there is some, you know, military news going on around. There's a few things, the discussions about the recognition of the is it a state or a country for Palestine. So that is a big thing going on in the United Nations. There's a summit going over there. There is a lot of bombings left, right, center, Russia, Ukraine, drones. You know, there's some activity, so to say, in the area, in the region. Someone is trying to remind others who's the boss and who's doing what. I don't like that game. Never mind. For us, we just need to make sure that, you know, we are safe, okay, as much as possible. We're trying our best, and now that we are, you know, dealing with trading, we're trying to stay focused, not to get carried away from other news. Stay focused, stay on the chart, and trying to find opportunities for us to make money, because we have a bigger goal, okay, with the head of our Lord, with the head of our everybody's different beliefs, with your own higher spirit, the power to give you, you know, a strength and give you a path for you to become independent and not to be bullied from the system, left, right, center. We need to be, you know, truly living this life. We're not here to be slaves. We're here to enjoy life, enjoy what our Creator gave us to enjoy. It's as simple as that. You know, we're trying to go back to the real basics here, guys. Okay, we don't try to complicate things. We're trying to simplify things here. So trading is a tool. Why not? Okay, try to make the best out of it, be the best, and create your better future. It's down to us. Okay, if we don't do it, no one's going to do it for us. Simple as that. Never mind how many prayers we're going to do to our Creator. If we don't do nothing, He's not going to do, you know, He's not a servant. Okay, because I asked something, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. I have to work my ass out of it. Okay, so He gave me a brain, hands, feet, a good body for me to do something. Okay, not just praying and waiting for things to turn up on my door. It doesn't work that way. Dixie. Remember what we said about Dixie? When Dixie's going up, that is moment for Bitcoin. When it's coming down a little bit, it's a little bit relaxing. But however, I want you to remember that we are claiming levels. Okay, so it's turning around. Look at that abundant week, huge push to the upside. We claim 97, trying to push up. Obviously, every level is a rejection. It got rejected, and now we're back to 97, again rejection, and let's see later today if we're going to see a continuation to the upside. Okay, as my friend Bassman, one of my wingmen, he says there's a lot of meetings going on today. Of course there are, okay, but I'm not gonna, let's say, I'm not gonna wait for these meetings to try to predict what's going to happen to the market. I'm not like that. Right, okay. I'm just waiting, for the reaction. I need momentum. Okay. They have so many big agendas. They can do whatever they like. All I want is momentum. Give me a direction, give me a momentum, and I'll grab as much as I can for today. And then tomorrow is going to be another day. Simple as that. Trying to do what you can do today. So, XRP, unfinished business, huge week down here. So far, is holding that lovely G level. That green box is telling me that is a previous support. It's looking that it's reacting to that support. Okay, how far? We don't know. Kind of sideways. We're still sideways. Okay. Now, if you find an opportunity breaking out from that area that we were paying attention yesterday, I understand. Okay, good on you. However, it didn't go that far, right? No trend. A little bit push to the upside, but there is no momentum, no trend. We need things moving, not sideways. Okay, so again, for today, watch this area. Okay, if you want to refine this, no problem. What you can do, go a little bit higher time frame and say, hey, you moved away from that green box over here, so that is your new area. There you have it, and that is your new focus box for today. Come back to 15-minute time frame and say, hey, okay, it's refined today with today's data. Okay, it's been refined. This is the area I'll be watching for today. Trying to stay above, that's good, but there's no momentum, there's no movement, we're going sideways. Okay, so we need momentum for XRP today. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit and you understand that you are in a downtrend. High, low, low high, lower lows. Okay, so you can't go fully bullish, even though that is trying to break the box. Of course, it's entitled to do a reversal. Okay, no complaints. But that's in the background. Keep in mind that you are still in a downtrend. Is this going to be a reversal? Okay, maybe. Why not? What are the conditions? Well, you have to break the previous highs. Until then, I'm just watching. Okay, I'm watching you. If you give me an uptrend, I'll go with you, and I'm going to watch the previous high, which is also resistance. Until then, I'll go with the flow. When we're going to reach this area, that is going to be a different story. Then you're going to come back and say, hey, you reach a resistance, let me take profits, and then I'll wait for you to show me what are you going to do. Are you strong enough to break it and claim it, or are you going to fall down and continue to the downtrend as equal highs, right? New lows, equal highs, and come down. Or maybe we're going to come here, we will fail to go higher and then fall down, which is going to give you a lower high. Okay, LH, lower high, compared to these guys over here. Okay, high, low, right, sideways, comes down, comes up, comes down. So this is your high, lower high, a lower high. Okay, lows, lower lows. Okay, microstructure. Go with the flow. If it's going down, look for shorts. If it's going up, look for longs. Okay, align yourself. Grab an opportunity. You're looking in 15 minutes, 5 minutes, it's fine. Find opportunity. If you playing the breakout, which happens to be a small rally, but the bigger leg is going to be to the downside, make sure you don't lose that. Okay, a small trade up to here to resistance and then start falling. Don't get caught still believing that it's going to go all the way up, you are in a downtrend. So the up moves are rallies, reliefs, okay, like a pullbacks, reverse pullbacks. Okay, just a bit cautious. The big legs for XRP right now is on the down. Another call for the call center. Give me 1 second. I'll be back with you. Listen to the hold music. Thank you for holding the line. Right, okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's my next meeting, appointment is here. So, just to wrap her up, how many minutes did I took? 31 minutes. Okay, I'm on track. Okay, so XRP, this is it. We have to watch out. Solana, oh, look at that. Solana did exactly a little bit the opposite. Instead of going up, it's going down. Okay. That was the unfinished business. It went to clear it. It's trying to recover. Let's see what Solana is going to do. So what are we going to do? Higher time frame, trying to find impulse, trying to refine. So we have an engulfing candle here, then we have another engulfing candle here. So that's my little focus area, and that is my today's view. What Solana is going to do. Okay, you see some tokens going up, some tokens going down. Don't get discouraged. Everyone has their own wave. They have their own, character. That's correct, Stelios. Good morning, my brother. That is absolutely correct. All the statements there is absolutely correct. What we need is just a movement, right? We just need tokens that have movement for us to grab the opportunity. And I tend to go to the big boys because they are less manipulative. If you go to smaller boys and girls, altcoins, you have good maybe momentum, but the 1 minute you are very, very rich, the next minute you can be very poor. So you need to be a little bit careful with the smaller altcoins. But yeah, I mean, if you are aligned and you go with the flow, you understand how far to go, yeah, it's going to be absolutely fine. Right, okay. That's my focus box for this Solana. So I need to find my conditions. We have a deviation, we have a breakout. Business. It took out that imbalance. So that's good. Now I would like to see, let's say, hold that range, or we're going to break that range and continue to the downside. If you zoom out, what is Solana doing? Well, this is your high, this is your low, this is your high, this is your low, lower high, low low. Okay, so you are in a downtrend. Bigger boys, the bigger legs, so to say, are going to be the down moves. The up legs are small corrections, rallies, okay, that don't last very long. They don't give you large percentages. The bigger percentages is on the way down. So if we want to continue to the downside, be our guest, okay, and everything is going to be just fine. Okay, so far Solana lost 223 and failed to claim it. Okay, no brainer here. Just wait for the opening of the EU right now. So it's 3 minutes past 10. So mark the 10 o'clock, so to say my local time, Athens time, 10 o'clock all the way up to 10:15, and see what's going to happen afterwards. Okay, and do the same thing for the US, and you can do the same thing with the Asia, and trying to see, gather the information and see how that works for you. Right, okay, that's it for today. Very nice and clean. Half an hour as I always promise. Trying to keep it nice and short, not to take too much of your time. I don't want to give you headaches. I'll give you like the full four major guys here: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP. John is really busy these days, but he's going to come to us very, very soon. He's very, very anxious. He wants to come back live with us and trade. Of course, we're waiting for him. Until then, have a lovely, lovely, lovely day. Enjoy the rest of the session. Make money. Okay, be safe. Have your conditions, and also make sure by the end of it, book your profits, okay? Bank them. Put on your wallet. Don't give it back to the market. And I'll catch you later. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.